I think it's that time again to brew some coffee because we're working in Hebrews. Welcome to your unique devotion. Yes, that was another attempt at sad coffee joke with Hebrews. We are doing Hebrews chapter 5. I'm going to continue by reading verses 5 through 11. It's entitled A Priest Forever and Ever. Alright, so here we go. Get your listening ears. Let's rock this out. So also Christ did not glorify himself to become high priest, but it was he who said to him, he with a capital H, "You are my son, today I have begotten you." As he also says in another place, "You are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek." Yeah, tongue twister. Who in the days of his flesh, when he had offered up prayers and supplications with vehement cries and tears to him who was able to save him from death, and was heard because of his godly fear, though he was a son, yet he learned obedience by the things which he suffered, and having been perfected, he became the author of eternal salvation to all who obey him, called by God as high priest, according to the order of Melchizedek, of whom we have much to say, and hard to explain, since you have become dull of hearing. So one thing stood out, but then there's also a question. It says here, he became the author of eternal salvation to all who obey him. And in order to obey someone, you need to hear them, you need to listen, and then you need to do it. So in this case, God is trying to communicate to you, and hopefully you're trying to communicate to him. And here's the interesting part. Here's the question. Is your hearing dull? As you start to read the Bible, as you've maybe been seasoned in reading the Bible, you're listening to him by the words that are coming off of this page. Okay? And as you do that, life should at least look different. Not necessarily be easier, but start to look different, because you'll start to see things more through God's eyes. You'll start to see the beauty of this world, of this universe. You'll start to see the beauty and peacefulness that people have, even though it might not be super easy to find all the time. Okay? But is your hearing dull? Yes, we definitely want to be listening in on what God has to say by seeing what's going on around us, by hearing what's going on around us, by seeing the words of the Bible, by hearing the words of the Bible, in any way that you can possibly think of that you can take God in, which is all senses and probably beyond. But what about people? God gave them the ability to live here on this earth. He loves them just as much as he loves you. Maybe sometimes, even though people say things that we don't agree with, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't listen, because there's always something behind why they're saying what they're saying. And maybe that's misguided thinking, or maybe that's because there's something there that you need to learn. That takes careful paying attention and a bit of learned discernment. But if you think that your hearing is perfect, or that you hear other people very well, I encourage you today to try a little bit harder to really pay attention to what other people are saying and stop thinking while they're talking. Just listen to what they're saying, and then when they're done, formulate what to say back. Because Because if we're thinking too much about what we're going to say next while they're talking, we're not really listening to them 100%. Yes, there is a bit of overlap. Somebody's finishing a sentence and you do have an answer at the end of that sentence, and sometimes we overlap. It's part of really strong communication. It's almost like you feel what they're exactly saying. But I think more often than not, we find ourselves thinking about what to say already before they even have their point across, which means what you're about to say isn't 100% meaningful to what they're even thinking. And they'll probably look at you like, that's what? Or to redirect the conversation because you really didn't understand what they were saying. So, sharpen your hearing today. Definitely listen to God. He will guide you. But try doing something new today and really hearing what other people are saying. On that note, I hope God gives you all the blessings you deserve, and even more so all the blessings you all deserve. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.